Hi Claudia and everybody else watching out there in internet land. Welcome to my first podcast. I guess the appropriate way to start off a podcast is by introducing myself. So, hi, my name is Fotis Soteropoulos, and I'm a student in Claudia Mitchell's Textual Approaches to Research course given at McGill. It's a graduate level course, and this is a series of podcasts that I'm producing as fieldwork, which will culminate in the major project at the end of this series, which is going to be a video on how to podcast and how to do sort of research with podcasting, which I think is sort of apropos to what we were doing in class and the sort of things that we were exploring throughout the semester. So, without further ado, let's start off with our first podcast and I guess explain the reasoning of these podcasts. Why am I doing this and why am I using this medium? Well, my background, as some of you watching may know, is media, is technology. I've been working in television and radio for quite a number of years. I've been working with new media and have been interested in doing research with new media for quite a number of years now. I guess the interest stemmed from a conference I attended back in 2001 or 2000, around that year. Probably 2001, if I remember correctly, which was the VSMM conference, a conference given at different locations around the world. I was quite lucky that it came to Montreal back then, and I was a student at Concordia. So I attended that conference and discovered so many wonderful things about technology. Back then, I remember a conference presenter asking the audience how many of them maintained a blog. And a couple of people raised their hands, and the only thing I could remember or I could think of is, what's a blog? So I thought that within the span of a couple of years, my knowledge of new media and my understanding of it has expanded to quite incredible lengths, and I want to use this medium to express myself in an interesting, probably not original, but in a way that a lot of people are using the medium nowadays. I have a confession to make. I haven't podcasted, I guess you can say that, before. It's sort of a lie. It's a confession/lie. I have done podcasts in the past. I've produced them with students. I even did a series of podcasts in Chicago last year when I went to the ARA conference. For those watching that aren't in education, ARA is the biggest sort of congregation gathering of educators in North America. It stands for the American Educational Research Association, and in 2007 it was in Chicago, and I had the great luck, I guess, financially that is, to attend that conference. And I didn't know much about Chicago. I knew about the Sears Tower, and I knew about a couple of the landmarks there, but didn't know much else about Chicago, and thought I'd do this very essentialist podcast about trying to find Oprah Winfrey, that is, in Chicago, which made me look more of a madman than anything else. We being Juliana and I, randomly went to different street corners with her. I'm doing this action because we were holding her camera phone, which had video capabilities to record video, and just shooting limousines passing by and screaming out at the top of my lungs, Oprah, 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 don't leave me, and people started thinking that we were crazy, so we sort of stopped that, but we had a couple of people watch these podcasts on YouTube, and it was quite fun, and we had a lot of fun doing that as well. So I guess that was my first personal interaction, where I sort of exposed myself for a facet of my personality in a podcast, which was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But it wasn't a serious, traditional podcast, and that also stems the question of what is a traditional podcast? Well, I mean, is there such a thing as being traditional when you're talking about new technologies? And we're in a quite unique position right now to be able to, dare I say it, pioneer in this in this way of thinking and working with technology. So a traditional podcast is basically what I'm doing right now, talking to a video camera, to a very small webcam, the size of maybe what, 1 cent. It's quite small, even smaller than that, and an even tinier microphone onto my MacBook. They're all incorporated into one, mishmashed. I don't really understand that technology. I'm not an engineer, but I know it works, and